What's going on, guys? Bob Buskirk here at ThinkComputers, and today we're taking a look at a brand new case from Thermaltake. It is their Core X1, so let's go ahead and take a look. So taking a first look at the case, you can see this sort of is a cube style case, but it is a little bit bigger than the smaller cubes that we have seen. Now this case does support Mini-ITX motherboards. Now we're going to move here to the front so you guys can get a look at that. Now on the front of the case here, we do have room for two 5¼ inch drive bays, and then of course the rest here is all plain. It has this cool little design on the front too. It gives this case its own look, and as you'll see throughout this video, that this design goes all the way through the entire case with Thermaltake logo down there. And if we can pop this off, and the front pops off, you can see very easily. And as we turn it around, we do have a removable filter right here that allows you to, go ahead and clean this out. And if we move this out of the way, of course, we can see our two bays right here. And then we do have a 120mm cooling fan here, and you actually have room for I believe 3 120s, you can do 1, 2, and if you don't want to use these drives, you can do 3. You can do 2 140s or a very large 200mm up top, or below, I mean. And just as easy it is to take off, this is just as easy to put back on as I can show you. Just like that, goes right back on. Moving along to the one side panel of the case here, we have a very large side panel window, and this will allow you to see everything inside your case. Get a good look at that system. You definitely want to show it off. And we do have our front panel connections and all that stuff right here. So you have a power and hard drive LED up top, very large power button, 2 USB 3.0 ports, audio connections, and your reset button. And what's really cool about this control panel right here is actually you can take it off and put it on the opposite side of the case. So if you wanted to say, go ahead and take this off and put it over here, if it's better on this side for you or whatever, you can actually go in, take this front off, and actually move this control panel to the other side. Moving along to the rear of the case, we have a 120mm exhaust fan. You can also put a 140 here if you want. And you can actually, the way it's mounted in here is it has these slides, so you can actually move the fan up or down depending on your setup. We have a large opening here, more or less for water cooling components or whatever you want to, go through here. We'll go over that in just a little bit. We have 3 expansion slots, and what's interesting about this is most Mini-ITX cases, they only have 2, so you can usually fit a dual slot card here, but we actually have 3 here. So if you really wanted to go pretty insane, you can actually do a 3 slot card in here. Of course, our motherboard's going to sit here. Power supply will be mounted on the bottom. We have a little bit of ventilation here, and as you can see, all of the panels do have thumb screws. So if you need to get into your system, you just take the thumb screws out and you can get in quite easily. The opposite side panel has 2 extremely large ventilated sections here, so it's kind of going to help the case breathe. These very large ventilated sections will just provide that extra cooling, get air into the case, and all of that. And what's actually cool is if I remove the panel, again, we do have thumb screws here. And I go ahead and take these off and move the panel. What's actually cool is it has these filters that all they are is magnets, so you can just take them off, clean them out, and just as easily put them back on. And you can see I'm doing this with one hand, but you can see there are 2 different magnet filters here, so that just keeps all the dust and all that nasty stuff out of your system. The top of the case here also is completely all ventilated, so you have that cooling if you need it. Again, we can take this off just as easily. Those 2 thumb screws do come off like that, and we can kind of pull this out. And it also does have a filter, same magnetic one. You take it out, clean it, whatever you need to do with it. And we move into here, and we don't have any fans pre-installed, but what you can do is, it's actually quite cool. You can do a lot of different things here. These plates are actually where you're gonna mount your fans. And what you can do is, you can see there's thumb screws here, and you can actually take these, move them for your fan setup. So if you want to do, 3 120s, 2 140s, or a 200mm up top, you can go ahead and do that. As far as radiator support, you can do a 120, 140, 240, and 360mm radiator up top. So you have a lot of options here. Again, you just move these over to your mounting points on your hardware, and you are good to go. It's really easy. It's great because a lot of cases, they have the radiator support, but it's, you know, you don't have the option to do a smaller one, a bigger one, however you want to do it. This, you just move these little plates over and you have a lot more options than you would on a traditional case. I've gone ahead and flipped the case over just so you can take a look at the bottom. We do have these 4 feet here, and that's going to allow air to get under the case. You know, if you have it on the floor or on your desk, just air to get under the case so you have that good ventilation. And we do have these 2 filters here. They are removable. You can take them out, clean them again, just to keep all that dust and everything out of your case. This bottom panel actually is removable as well. You do have to remove the 2 thumb screws at the back here and these 2 screws right here to take it off. But the reason it's removable is that you can actually stack these cases. So if you want to have some crazy extreme setup with 2 of these together, you can actually stack them, take the bottom out, and, you know, move water cooling in between the 2 cases or whatever you would like to do. You have that ability to do that with this case. To get inside the case, all you do is you have to loosen these 2 thumb screws on this panel right here. These are the thumb screws that kind of stay with the case, so you don't have to worry about losing them, and you kind of just pull it off just like that and take it out. And one thing I didn't mention is that both side panels are interchangeable. So if you want to use the window on the opposite side, you can, and have the one that has all the ventilation on this side, you can switch them up, which is actually pretty cool. Again, makes this sort of like a builder's case, so you can kind of change it however you would like it. At the front part of the case, we have our 2 5¼ inch drive bays, and these use a simple toolless locking system, which should work pretty well. One thing that's cool about these is that they can also be completely removed. So if you are not using a 5¼ inch bay, you can take those out. That makes room for radiators and fans and things like that on the front of the case. Below the 5¼ inch bays is just some open space here. You can see we have our included 120mm fan down here. You have a lot of room down here. You know, you can put all your cables down here, keep things clean. You can put water cooling components, some other cool stuff down here if you like. Just gives you a lot of extra room for expansion or whatever, you know, you're gonna really do with this case. You can have a lot of room down there. Moving over to the other side of the case, we do have our hard drive cage here. And this cage supports 3 hard drives, whether they're 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch, and it has simple trays that come out here. And as you can see, you have your mounting points for both size hard drives, and they should just be easy enough to get right back in here. And then this far side over here is where your power supply is going to be mounted. And this case does support full-size power supplies, so if you need a really hefty power supply for your system, you have more than enough room right down there. Finally, we move on to the motherboard tray. Again, this case supports Mini-ITX motherboards, and to make it even easier to install that motherboard, you can actually remove the motherboard tray completely. So there's 2 thumb screws right here, and then another 2 back there. Just take it out, install your motherboard, and then put it back in. We do have some cable routing, or a cable routing hole right here. And then what's actually interesting, we do have the large CPU cutout, which of course we see on all cases, but under there is an actual tray, if I can take it out with one hand. There's this small tray, and this allows you to install another 2.5 inch hard drive. So it gives you a total of 4 hard drives that you can actually install in here. You can see how easy I put that right back in. As far as clearance goes inside of the case, you do have a ton of room because this is a bigger Mini-ITX case. So as far as CPU coolers go, you can fit something as tall as 200mm. And then as far as graphics cards go, you can fit a graphics card as long as 400mm. So that's pretty much any graphics card that is out there on the market, so you should be covered. So this wraps it up here for a quick overview of the Thermaltake Core X1 case. Now make sure you check back very soon on ThinkComputers.org, as we'll have our full written review. And remember guys, if you like our videos, why don't you subscribe? Catch you guys later.